Greetings. Hello. Um, hello friends and family and 104 YouTube subscribers, most of whom are friends and family. I just wanted to give an update. I'm showing my face. I've had a single-digit number of requests to start showing my face. As far as the YouTube channel and teachertravels.net, which is the blog, my social media accounts and things like that, it's been really fun interacting over the course of these past 80 days. I've been in Asia for 80 days. I made 64 videos that have been like vacation videos, and I know there's nothing worse than watching someone else's vacation videos, especially when it's it's crappily done on a crappy cell phone camera. But that was the idea, a bit of a travel log, if you will, to document things as I go. So I want to give an update on where I am and what I'm doing, and then a little bit about why I did what I did, which might be for another video to dive deeper behind the reasons why I did what I did. Among other things, I want to make the videos more of like a diary, more of a traditional vlog, I guess, now that I've exhausted the travel tour videos, which was a hell of a trip. This whole thing was about a year in the making. Last May, during some personal turmoil, I pulled the trigger, bought a ticket to Saigon about a year in advance. So that would have been May of 2016. I bought the ticket. Fast forward a year, my last year of teaching in Houston led to the trip where I was inspired. I was going down the rabbit hole and watching too much YouTube, but as a result, I was inspired by three channels in particular. If you want to watch good YouTube channels with good vloggers, Yavato Kim, aka Old Boy, KyleLay.net, Kyle Lay, L-E, KyleLay.net, and he does an incredible job with videos focusing on culture and people and food. Here in Vietnam, Vietnamese American guy. Yavato Kim's a Korean American dude, and then a South African young man named Alex Stevenson, who is behind Ninja Teacher, ninjateacher.com. He has those three guys really put in a lot of work, and they've inspired a lot of people to move to Vietnam and sort of start a new chapter. And they were directly involved with inspiring me to make this trip. So I did want to give credit where credit is due. Over the course of that year, planning the trip, watching the videos, I knew that I needed to make a drastic change in my life. I taught high school and college English for 10 years in the United States, and it was sort of a confluence of personal, professional, political, to some extent, even some spiritual aspects thrown in there too, that all led to me like, you know what, I need to do this thing. We'll talk more about that in another video. I'm already off task. Again, jet lag has finally caught up to me, and that's a very real thing. So, to that point, jet lag. It all led to this big trip. I spent 2 months, right? If you're a teacher, chances are you're on a 10-month contract, which means you get paid for 2 months without having to work, which is the greatest thing ever. If you're a smart teacher, you teach online or you're teaching summer school so that you're doubling or tripling your income. But I am not one of those smart teachers. I like to either do nothing or do a lot of things over the summertime. I've had a little bit of both. This summer was great, and you can watch the videos, and maybe you read the blogs, and God bless you, and thanks for humoring me. But as I said, or as you've seen or read, 2 months all over Vietnam. I went up and down Vietnam. I went to Cambodia. I went to Thailand. I had a couple of my best buddies fly over here and join me, and when I did it all again with those guys, getting to be the tour guide. I have had the time of my life. I've been very lucky and blessed to get to travel and do some things and inspire my students and former students to travel and do some things. Life is short and the world is big, and if you are not anchored, in one place for any reason, and that's a different video too, then you need to go do some things. And so that's what I've tried to do. Ultimately, when I left, I knew that I would have the opportunity to stay. There's a huge demand and a huge marketplace for English teachers here in Vietnam. I was offered a job at a school in Cambodia when I initially came over to visit. I loved Cambodia. Of my 2 months traveling, I've spent most of my time in Vietnam because I loved Vietnam even more. So as patient and considerate as everyone was at the school in Cambodia, I chose to come to Vietnam. We can talk more about that in another video as well. So many other videos instead of focusing on the one that I should be focusing on. This is going to be a long video. Shit, this is already 5 minutes. Sorry. Essentially that brings us to now. The touring is over. I knew all summer that I was going to have like 2 months to travel, figure out where I wanted to go and where I wanted to settle, if I really did want to stay, and then kind of attack it from there. When my best friend, since I was 7 years old, got married this week in Los Angeles. So I knew like I'd have 2 months to travel and party and XYZ in Asia. Then I would have to go back to LA, and then would I come back to Asia, or would I return home to Houston to continue and follow up on that contract? And over the course of the summer, about mid-July, I decided to resign from my position. I resigned from my teaching contract. I also turned down an offer to go full-time with the community college I was teaching part-time at. So huge decision. But I just knew that this was something that I needed to try to do, to get out of the comfort zone, to sort of snap out of it, and also just experience life and do something that not everyone's able to do and that I'm in a position to do. So this is my update. The 2 months of travel and touring are over. My big shot at being the best man in my best pal's wedding is over. I took 13 flights in 80 days. I flew from Houston to Taipei, Taiwan, from Taipei to Saigon. At a certain point, I went from Saigon to Hanoi, where I then took a bus to Ninh Binh, if you've seen the Ninh Binh nature videos at the beginning of the channel. Then flew to Da Nang from Hanoi. Spent like a week in Da Nang. You can see those videos. Flew from Da Nang back to Saigon. Spent more time in Saigon. Flew from Saigon to Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Went from Phnom Penh after like 10 days in Cambodia. Flew from Phnom Penh to Bangkok, where I met my buddies, and we traveled Thailand for about a week. Went from Bangkok to Siem Reap, where we toured the temples. My laptop, the chipset in my work laptop fried at one point, so that if you have been paying attention, there was about a month gap because my work laptop shit the bed, so I couldn't update posts or do the blog stuff. So then you just now recently have seen the Angkor Wat and the Siem Reap Cambodia temple videos, which was now almost a month ago. I was posting those a month late. Otherwise, I was only about a week or two behind on the videos when I was posting. Anyway, from Siem Reap, I flew back to Phnom Penh, took a bus from Phnom Penh to Saigon. So I did a double border crossing on a bus because I was so sick of flying, and because the one-way trip from Phnom Penh to Saigon is expensive for some reason. And we were booking last minute typically, so it was like almost 200 US. For a flight you're only in the air for 27 minutes from Phnom Penh to Cambodia, from Phnom Penh to Saigon. I'm not going to pay two bills for that. So then once I was back in Saigon, obviously I flew to LA, which included a stopover both ways in Guangzhou, China. So here to Guangzhou to LA to Guangzhou, and then back here. So 13 flights in 80 days. And this most recent flight, the round trip from LA was a monster, or to and from LA. It was about 26 hours of travel each way. So I did about 48, 50 hours in 6 days traveling, which was a beast, and I think it's just caught up to me now, of course, when I choose to do this video. This is almost 10 minutes of me rambling. If you are still watching this, you are truly a saint. You are an angel from heaven. But I'll stop there. This is my travel update. It's been a great journey, and now I want to transition the videos into more of like the daily vlog, food stuff, what criticisms I have received, and I have received them. More food stuff. People want to watch food videos. So food, diary, and of course teacher stuff. The vacation is over. I have multiple job interviews. I've been overwhelmed with job interviews. That's a separate video too. Tomorrow, I could have to start work on Monday, which is in 72 hours as I record this, which is terrifying because the dream is over. Vacation has to end at some point. What little savings I did have and brought over here has gone a really long way, and I could not work for a number of months still, but that would not be smart. And I am eager to, there's only so much of blogging and drinking cafe, swada at the cafe that you can do before you go nuts. So this is now where I am, what I'm doing, and videos on like how I did this, why I did this, how you could do this if you're a person that needs to make a change, and other things like that. I have received questions and comments, so I'll address some of those things too. That's it for me. teachertravels.net. Thanks for humoring my little vanity project. It's been fun and has kept my brain occupied in certain moments when it's been necessary. So thanks for watching. Peace.